So let's see how this goes. I am live on the streets of London, so do expect a very, very, very shaky camera today because I'm holding it out in front of me. So today the theme is practice makes perfect, and I thought, what better thing to do? Oops, someone's earpods are trying to connect to my video. Sorry about that. Some random person on the street's earpods are trying to connect to my video, our video. So I am walking down the street, and I thought, what better theme to cover on practice makes perfect than being a couple of days out now, the London Marathon. I thought I would walk to the end of my street, because literally 3 minutes up my street is this. I'm going to spin round. Is this road? This road is mile 8, I believe, of the marathon route. It's mile 8 of the marathon route. And last year, quite early in my pajamas, I chucked my coat on and I walked to this very spot to cheer on what I think is around 50,000 marathon runners. So this street here is one of the places. So why am I showing you this? Why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because today's theme is practice makes perfect, and whether you agree with that statement or not, I mean, what is perfection? Do we really want perfection anyway? So, and you'll find me swinging around because I just want to protect people's privacy as well. So my belief, and this is my personal belief, is that sometimes we can try to strive to perfection or for perfection, and that can actually get in the way of our brilliance. It can stop us from being brilliant. It can cause us to procrastinate. It can cause us to worry. It can cause us to overthink stuff. It can cause us to maybe talk ourselves out of things. So as I walk down this road, I thought, what a great way to demonstrate practice and this particular video. So on Sunday, I will be running in the opposite direction. So if you see me running this way, tell me to go back, because I'm adding miles onto the route. But one of the things that I've discussed with many, like literally thousands of people over the years, whether they're in a group, whether in a workshop, whether they're one-to-one or individual clients, is the element of practicing. And of course, practicing, especially for something like a marathon or speaking or video, for example, it's a really important thing to do. I love the iconic London bus in the background there. And by the way, do say hi if you're watching. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. There's only one country in the world where you get these gorgeous red iconic London buses. There's a clue. So there's a couple of different things you can do if you want to practice or get better or improve or master, because you might already be great at these things, but you might want mastery. So a couple of tips in here, and I'm going to keep walking through this video because we're going to end up at, spoiler alert, the Cutty Sark, which isn't too far from here. So although I get a feeling that on Sunday running it will feel like it's really far, but let's cross that bridge when we come to it. So there's a couple of things that you can do. So remember that practice is good if you're new at something. Practice is good if you are trying to get better at something. And practice is good if you want to master it. And for many of the people that I speak to, they're already brilliant at what they do. Another red bus. They're already brilliant at what they do. And the reason they might want to master something is because they perhaps want to teach others. They perhaps really enjoy the involvement that happens with personal and professional development. They perhaps even really want to be able to hone their skills and find out new stuff along the way. Because let's face it, sometimes the best practice that we can do is to actually get something wrong and learn from that. So a couple of techniques that are really, really handy for any kind of rehearsal, anything that you want to do, anything that you want to practice, are obviously number one, physical practice. So in the terms of running or speaking, actually physically doing it really, really makes a difference. And you can then kind of self-assess. You can then look for ways to improve. You can ask yourself the magical learning question, what would I do differently next time? And so on and so forth. One of the things that sometimes people do, and I notice that I've been doing it in this marathon journey, is we might practice something, we might do something, and instead of reviewing what could I do differently next time, we might go into self-criticism, self-critiquing. So, sorry, I'm stomping fast because I want to be able to get to the cutting sark by the end of this video. So one of the things that you can do to alleviate that, if you like, is to make sure that when you're reviewing something, maybe you've made a video and you're watching it back. If you're reviewing something, but you know that you err on the side of self-critique, self-criticism, or something else like that, then my actual advice with videos are don't watch them back. I mean, if I was to sit and this wasn't to be being streamed live and I was to watch this, I'd be complaining that my face is too close to the camera, that bit of hair is really annoying, how it sticks out, that when the sun shines on bits of my face, I have these funny white spots, that maybe the jiggling of the camera is too much, maybe the breathy panting and gasping down at you might be really off-putting, it might not look professional. What if potential clients see it? What if my corporate clients see this and think, oh my gosh, this lady, what is she like? All of those things that we worry about when we look back and try and critique our stuff, then come back at us, and often it's the thing that actually stops us doing the thing we want to do, not long now. So if you are very, very anxious about the thing that you're practicing or trying to get better at, don't review it. Just do it. Do it, don't review it. If it's a video, do it and put it out there anyway. If it's, speaking, practice it. Not so that you can critique your work, but practice it. Hold on a second. Very loud truck noise, so I'll pause there. Practice it so that you can get used to rolling the words around your mouth. Oh, I've got a green light, let me go now. Practice it so you can practice getting the words out, rolling the words around your mouth, having the experience of what it feels like to do the thing. Practice for that purpose. Oh, looks like my road is, all the, so I thought I wasn't going to be able to go on a straight route there down to the start, but I can. Look, I need to get used to this. Look at this. You see? Whoops. Barriers. There'll be more of those on Sunday, I'm sure, along some of these routes. In fact, I think they're already quite early getting ready for that. It's only Thursday, but still. Anyway. So if you are feeling particularly nervous, don't have the reason or the excuse to look back and review something to criticise or critique yourself. It will lead to frustration. It will lead to you, procrastination. It will lead to you maybe not viewing it in the same light. So one way, thank you for the love, whoever that is, I can't see any comments at the moment on my phone. So one way, if you are looking to speak and practice, rather than dragging your family into the room and saying, oh, come and listen to my talk and what do you think? Because that's then feedback from outside. The best way to roll the words around your mouth, I'm going to cross here because we're nearly at the cutting start. The best way to roll the words around your mouth is to physically practice getting them out of your mouth. Physically practice saying them. Physically practice what it feels like, what it sounds like to you, not to anybody else. Physically, just practice that. And there are a couple of ways that you can do that, but in the interest of time and going on to the next topic, I'm going to move on to the next thing. So the next thing that I wanted to say around practice and making perfect, there's a really interesting technique that a lot of top sports people use, and I completely forgot about it until last night. I thought, oh my gosh, here's me moaning and complaining about how I don't think I've trained enough, I don't think I've done enough, I think that I need a few more months and all of that kind of stuff. But actually, one of the best techniques, as well as the physical side of training and practicing, is something called mental rehearsal. So I'm going to kind of paraphrase that for the purpose of this video. What is mental rehearsal and why is it so effective? Well, mental rehearsal is, as its name suggests, when you mentally rehearse it, which means that you're not physically doing it. So why is it so effective? Well, there's a couple of parts of your brain, and again, not to make it sound or make you feel like I'm breaking this down in a too simplistic a way, but I want to make it really easy to understand. Two parts of your brain. There's the conscious part of your brain that consciously thinks about what you want to do, what you want to say, and there's a subconscious part of your brain that just literally runs on the automatic pilot, doesn't use any words. So when we start thinking about our fears, take my running, I haven't trained enough, I haven't trained enough, that actually becomes an instruction to that subconscious part of my brain that tells me, you haven't trained enough, which means something to that, because it doesn't use words or pictures, it uses just pictures. What that does is it tells my unconscious part or subconscious part of my brain that I haven't trained enough, so that cause has an effect, meaning, Jenny, you haven't practiced, you will not be able to run the marathon, or something like that. I'm just going to go around the outside here, because we're nearly at Rehearsal. So what I'm in fact telling myself isn't really, I haven't practiced enough. I'm instructing myself, you will fail, you won't do this, you won't be able to run the marathon, and so on and so forth. So that's why this really matters. Now, here's why mental rehearsal is so helpful and beneficial. And now I'm roasting and I've got my coat on and I can't even run back. I haven't got my proper trainers on anyway. I don't want to make any injuries before I go. We are approaching the Rehearsal. Anyway, so mental rehearsal is basically, and you can do it for whatever you need to rehearse. It could be a difficult conversation. It could be an event like a marathon or a race. It could be your golf stroke. It could be your speaking, your presentation that you're going to give. It could be the video that you want to make. It could be how you look when you walk into a room. It could be how you sound when you tell somebody about something. It doesn't matter what it is. The thing that I would advise you to do is to do one thing at a time. So all you do in this simplistic way is you close your eyes and you see yourself. You play a video in your mind of you doing the thing. Now, some people say, Jenny, I'm not a visual person. And for some of you, a very, very, very tiny percentage of you, that might be true. But when you can't do something and you decide that you can't do the thing, you are already doing something to persuade yourself that you can't do it. And it's likely that you are imagining it happening. I think I alluded on yesterday's video, the number of people who tell me, I can't do public speaking because whenever I do it, I go really red every single time. They are not only instructing themselves to go red every single time, but they are embedding that over and over and over again. So if they can go for instead, the Rehearsal. If they can do something that's more useful to them instead, that actually helps them to achieve the thing they want to do, then they're going to get better results. And the good thing about mental rehearsal is because it's done internally, it's actually quicker to do than the actual thing. Now, I'm not saying that if you're a sports person that you should never ever physically practice, that you should only mentally rehearse, because that's no good. What I am saying is, if you use the physical practice and the mental rehearsal practice, it's a winning combination. So when you go to do the actual thing, your brain's like, I've done this 1,000 times before. I've practiced. I know how this is going to be, and it works. And the strangest thing is, it works even when you've never done the thing before. So strange. Rather than thinking, well, that doesn't make sense, that can't be right, give it a go. It could be making a perfect cup of tea. It could be doing something within your house. It could be having a calm conversation with a partner or with the kids or with somebody at work. Give it a go and see what happens. So I am going to stand on this wall very carefully and show you the cutty sock. There you go. So if you are spectating or watching in London, I've decided, in order to be able to focus on what I have to do on Sunday, that although I have my phone with me, I'm not going to be responding to messages and things, simply because I want the GPS to be tracking my every move, I'm going to do it in under 8 hours, which I know isn't impressive compared to the 2 hours 14 minutes. How do you run 26 miles in 2 hours and 14 minutes? I mean, come on now. But people have. I won't be. But I'll be enjoying the journey, enjoying the crowds, enjoying the view, which is why I wanted to show you. In fact, I'll give you a slower view. The cutty sock. Look at this gorgeous blue sky. And then if I continue spinning, what you can see in the distance is over the River Thames and Canary Wharf. You can see HSBC Bank, all other banks are available. You can see that in the distance there. So let me know. I'm really intrigued to know, especially if you're in the Vibes Tribe, in a safe space. Anything you type in the Visibility Vibes Tribe group, nobody else sees. Let me know. What are you going to practice this mental rehearsal on? Let me know. Nosy by nature, always curious to know. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the views. And as always, if you prefer to watch this on YouTube, this will be uploaded probably in about an hour or so. But you'll see it over on my YouTube channel there, which is just Jenny Kovacs. If you Google Jenny Kovacs Visibility Specialist, Visibility Queen, or Jenny Kovacs Visibility, you will find my channel. And if, like the other people who've been doing it this week, if you subscribe, then you will be notified every time something new comes up there, which is pretty regular on a weekly basis. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. And I hope you've enjoyed the shaky ride, but also enjoy the cutty sock. Bye for now.